Good afternoon, everyone. Giselle Calvillo back with Mixed Fit SA, and we're here for your Hybrid Fitness lunchtime workout. Today, I'm joined with one of our Mixed Fit coaches, Liz Valenzuela, and she's gonna be doing our body weight yoga mix today with us. You're gonna need a yoga mat, towel, and water bottle, and we'll get started. 10 to 15 seconds. So for the beginning of today's class, we're gonna start standing positions with our standing movements, working top to bottom. We'll start with standing high knee with an overhead reach, extension, tucking the knee to the elbows. Biceps by the ears, we've got 10. Right and left, begin. Make sure you're tall through the top of the head, keeping the shoulders over the hips. Exhale as you tuck, flexing the foot, driving the knee. Once you get 10, we'll switch to the other side. Alternating, tucking the tailbone under, nice and tall. Exhale through that tuck. Good. Balancing legs slightly bent. One more. Great job. Now we're gonna take a split stance. So let's go ahead and take our feet outside of our mat. And we're gonna shift our weight into a split squat position, if you will. Elongating your right side, shifting the weight to the left side. Placing the hand upon the hip, the opposite hand comes overhead, and we're gonna drive elbow to knee with a lateral knee tuck. Exhale through that reach. 10 and 10. Make sure shoulders are over the hips. Exhale through that crunch. We'll get 10 right side, 10 left side. Good job. Make sure that you correct that stance each time, correcting that posture, shifting that weight, long side reach, and exhale through that tuck. More, and 10. Now as we move down lower, working toward the hips and glutes. So taking a front squat position, if you will, ankles under the knees, chest up, shoulders back, bringing those hands up. We're gonna go front squat to a front kick, driving down through the heels, kicking that door down with that heel alternating each side. Once again, making sure that your shoulders stay over the hips. There you go, and your knees over the ankles. We're gonna do 10 each side. So you got 20 squats. Also, continue the work. As you're moving through this exercise, make sure you can kick knee level or you can kick waist level. Find your range. Again, this is the first round, warm-up round. Once you get 10 each side, alternating, we'll move on to the next exercise. For the next exercise, we're gonna go to a windmill from the squat position. So let's go ahead and take our feet once again, ankles under the hips, arms out, blades to the side. We're gonna rotate that T-spine, coming down to our squat as we windmill, that chest open, coming back up, tall through the top of the head, blades come straight, neutral position, rotating over the other side, squat to that windmill position, and continue. We're gonna go 5 each side, total of 10. Continue that movement, resetting your lines. Every time you hit that center landmark. Come to standing, tuck under, center, readjust the shoulders, coming back. We'll do 1 more each side. Make sure you get your 5. If you've already got 5, you can get another one. Get 1 more each side. And back to center. Excellent work. Now we're gonna go into our single leg RDL. So this takes a little bit of balance. If you'd like to grab a table, a chair, anything that's around you, your desk to help assist with this, you can do so. Make any adjustments necessary. We're gonna shift the weight over to our left leg, standing up tall, tailbone under, kickstand that opposite leg back. Taking that right hand, since our right leg is back, and we're gonna hinge those hips, coming into a horizontal line, lifting that back leg behind us, and standing right back up. Make sure you find a point of focus. We've got 10 each side. Let's begin. Inhale as you lower to that nice fluid motion. Drive it up with a dynamic lift, driving through that heel. Inhale, lengthen that line. Back to the top. Halfway there, get 5 more. Making sure that the shoulders are away from the ears. We are not breaking C-spine. We want to keep that line. Head, shoulders, hip, and ankle straight. If the back leg doesn't come up as high, that's perfectly fine. Make sure you stay balanced on that leg. Once we get 10, we'll switch over to the other side. Go ahead and begin. Keep a nice pace. Control that eccentric movement as you come down, driving up through that heel, coming to standing nice and tall. Also, make sure not to lock the knee of the balancing leg. Keep a slight buckle to assist in the stabilization of that single leg stance. Get a couple more, make sure you get your 10. Maybe got one more to get your 10. All right. This is gonna help me count it out. All right, great. So that's the first portion of our standing body weight work. We'll continue in about 15 seconds. We'll come back, grab your sip of water if you need, and we're gonna take it to the floor and add our yoga poses. And then we'll take it to round 2 where we put that yoga and standing movement together. We'll be right back. And we're back. Let's begin the yoga portion of our body weight workout today as we stand with our feet just under our hips, chest up, shoulders back to receiving pose. We're gonna take a deep breath in as we come over our head, and we're gonna exhale as we walk out to plank. From this plank position, we wanna make sure our wrists are under our shoulders, nice and long through the top of the head. We're gonna take a hip circle, external rotation of that right hip, alternating to that left hip. 1 push-up through that chest and core. Then we're gonna take a push-up release as we slowly lower down, releasing those hands. Driving back to child's pose. Hold for 2 deep breaths. Then for here, dropping the elbows, rolling that chest forward into up dog. Beautiful. Reversing the toes, coming into downward dog. Driving those heels, adjusting those feet, grounding the palms into the earth, pressing the chest towards the thighs, 2 deep breaths. Bending the knees, walking the feet towards the top of your mat, placing your chest into your lap, lifting the chest and shoulders, coming overhead. Prayer pose. Excellent job. Let's do that one more time. Coming back to the back of the mat. Deep breath in, receiving pose, hands overhead. Exhale, elongate that vertical line. Exhale as we come forward fold to plank. Hip circle. Opposite side. Lower down that push-up. Exhale, press. Slow eccentric release. Release the hands, child's pose. Dropping the elbows, rolling that forward into a dog. Driving those hips back, down dog. Good. Adjusting the hands, adjusting the feet. This time you can continue to walk, step, or jump to the front of your mat. Lifting your chest before your hips and coming overhead, back to prayer pose. Excellent job. Now we'll begin with the second portion of the yoga stretches today. And so we'll go sun salutation into our warrior poses. So back to that starting position. Deep breath in overhead. We're gonna go full sun salutation all the way through. Forward fold. Half lift. Release. Then we're gonna walk out to plank. Runner stretch, bringing that right foot forward where the right hand is, releasing that hand. Windmill, heart open to that right side. Holding here, make sure your knee is just inside the hip. Try not to bow that out. Belly to spine as we take 2 very deep breaths. Shoulders down away from the ears as we drop the back knee. Taking the right hand, pulling down behind us for kneeling, warrior 2 reverse. Looking at our front hand, maintaining a nice horizontal line with our arms, nice vertical line with our shoulders, pulling the shoulders back over the hips, leaning back into it, taking the back hand behind the back, reaching forward with your front arm, reverse that warrior. Make sure not to hyperextend the back, pull the core up and in as you elongate through the ceiling and not behind you. Windmill those arms back to plank, downward dog. Walk, step, or jump to the front. Drop the hips, lift the chest, hands overhead. Prayer pose. Excellent job. Let's do that again. Back to our mat. And we'll go sun salutation, half lift, runner stretch. Deep breath in, overhead. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, half lift. Release. Walk out to plank. Then we're gonna go left leg comes forward, runner stretch, windmill that arm open. 2 deep breaths here. Opening up that chest, dropping the back knee, coming up to warrior 2 reverse, looking at that front hand, dropping the shoulders, tucking that tailbone under, shoulders over the hips. 2 deep breaths. Reverse that warrior, bringing the back arm behind you, reach into the sky. Deep breaths. Then we're gonna windmill those arms back to plank. Downward dog, walk, step, jump to front. Drop the hips, lift the chest. Good, prayer pose. We got one more to add on before we take a breather, so now we're gonna go into our warrior lunge. We're gonna add a little upper body movement into this, get a little more fire up top, which we love. So let's go and take our hands overhead, deep breath in, extending that line, stepping back into warrior lunge. Once you get into that split stance, drop into that warrior, holding 2 deep breaths. Bicep by the ears, knees over the ankle, hip over the knee. Then we're gonna rotate to the right side, opening up that sumo squat, coming down nice and slow. Placing the hands onto the floor, coming into bear plank. Hold this for 1 nice big deep breath. Then we're gonna sprawl our knees and our elbows 45 for a quick press. Step back up, lifting the shoulders before the hips. Coming up, back to that warrior lunge. And step together. Yes, we did it. All right, now we gotta do the other side. So back to your mat. Deep breath in overhead. Exhale, swan dive. Forward fold, half lift. Release, drop the hips overhead. Warrior lunge, left side. Take that leg back. Dropping down. Deep breath. Rotate to that sumo, lower down. Hands come to the mat, feet come to that bear squat, hold here. Correct that position, shoulders down away from the ears. Deep breath in as we sprawl, press. Stepping back up, nice wide stance. Coming up. And back together. Whew. There it is. We got it, we got through it. Take a quick breather, 15 seconds, grab some water in your towel. We'll be right back and we're gonna put it all together. All right, so it's time to put it all together here. We're gonna move a lot faster, no breaks this time, top to bottom. Let's go and begin a standing high knee. With that overhead reach, knee tuck, we're gonna go 6 each side. Let's begin. Alternate. Good job. Then we split that squat stance, shifting that leg over, long right side, reaching over the head, 6. Getting those abs today. Standing ab work. 6 right, 6 left, switch to the other side. Split stance, shift that weight, long side, exhale. Keep the shoulders over the hips. Good. Once you get 6, we are going squat to that front kick. We've got 6 each side. Let's go. Good work. Woo, that's 12. All right, now we're going unloaded windmill. So starting from that standing position, we're gonna go 4 each side, total of 8. Bringing those blades out to the side, nice and tall, let's rotate. Dropping down, back up. Good work, nice long blades. Very mechanical in your movement through that spinal rotation. Ooh, 1 more each side. Shoulders away from the ears. There it is. Single leg dead. We have 1 more here before we're done with the standing movements. Chest up, shoulders back, shifting that weight. Tall through the top of the head, tucking under. And begin. Let's go 8. Nice and slow movement down. Controlled lowering of that. Fire high. Slide into the knee. Once you get 8 on one side, 8 on the other side. Continue. How you feeling, Liz?
Good.
All right. Sweating?
Sweating.
Good. Like, don't talk to me because I can't balance if I talk to you. And then when I talk, I gotta look at you, so I'm gonna definitely use that. Good. Once you get 8 and 8, we are moving on. We are going walk out with that hip circle, but guess what? We mix it up and mix fit. So we're gonna put that push up and that hip circle together.
Okay.
Hands overhead, walking out to that plank. So now as we press, we will hip circle out. Woo, there it is. Coming back up to the top. Good. Walking back out, deep breath in. We got 1 more. Hip circle press. Hip circle press. Good. Drop the knees, child's pose. Dropping the elbows, up dog. There it is. Reverse the feet. Downward dog. Stop. You can jump to the front, step to the front, to the front of the mat. Lifting the hands overhead. Sun salutation directly into it. Exhale, forward fold. Half lift. Good. Release to plank. Runner stretch. Right foot comes forward. Open that side up. Deep breathing. Good work. Holding. Dropping the back knee. Coming into that warrior lunge reverse position. Then reversing this warrior. Pulling it back. Windmill those arms. To plank. Good. Downward dog. Hop, step, jump to front. Deep breath in, hands overhead. And forward fold. Woo. Half lift. Release. Yes. Into plank. Left foot comes forward. Now we're getting it. Opening it up. Finding our rhythm. Holding. Breathing. Dropping that knee. job. Aligning that posture. Reverse that warrior. Nice and long. Windmill those hands to plank. Downward dog. Good. Hop, step, jump to front. Drop the hips, hands come overhead. Warrior lunge, right side. Coming down. Ooh, feeling good. Rotate into that sumo. Dropping the hands, bear plank. Nice and tight, sprawl that press. Stepping back up, chest is lifted. Coming back up, warrior lunge. There it is. And prayer pose. We do it again, sun salutation, overhead, deep breath in. Exhale, swan dive, forward fold, half lift. Release. Good. Back up, overhead. Warrior lunge. Other side, always resetting that spine. Dropping down. Rotating. Dropping hands. Keeping it nice and tight. Sprawl that press. Stepping back up. Chest is lifted. Warrior lunge. Back to the top. We did it. Woo, that was 2. We got one more, folks. So if you need it, grab your water and your towel. And we'll be right back to finish it off. Good stuff. All right, we are here now, back for our final round. We are kicking it into high gear. We've only got 4 reps, all the way through, top to bottom. We got this. So, let's go to our top of our mat, hands overhead, standing high knee. Right side, let's go 4. Switch. Side. 4, split stance. Stand tall. Alternate. Excellent. Now we've got front squat, front kick for each side. Let's go. One more. Come on. Woo! Windmill. We're going to go 2 each side, total of 4 this time. Bring those blades out. Let's go ahead and turn to the side. Let's then get a side view from us here. Shoulders down and back, tucking that tailbone under here. She's gonna rotate over that right side, making sure that this line is straight, shoulders down away. As she comes down into her squat, rotates that windmill, coming back to center, correcting that line, other side. Good. Go one more. Good, there it is. Awesome, now we're gonna go single leg RDL. Let's go 4 each side. Slow on the release, quick fire as you drop. 4 right, 4 left. There it is. Now we go into our yoga poses, putting it all together here. So from our mat, we're gonna take a deep breath in as we come overhead, walking it out to that plank. We've got our hip circle with that push-up. Right side, left side. Back to top, we're gonna do that one more time. Drop the hips, hands overhead. Walking back out. Push up, hip circle. Good. Child's pose. Yes, I almost forgot. My fault, Liz. Good. Up dog. She's used to it. It happens. Good. Down dog. Good, right leg comes forward. Runner stretch, windmill that hand. Dropping the back knee, kneeling child's pose in the reverse. Good. Reverse that warrior. Windmill those hands. Down dog. Hop to front. Hands overhead, sun salutation. Exhale, swan dive. Half lift. Release. Into plank. Left side, runner stretch. Windmill that hand. Beautiful. Drop that back knee. Make sure the knee is under the hip. Shoulders over the hip. Drop it down, tuck it under. Warrior two, kneeling, reverse. Beautiful. Try not to hyperextend that hip flexor, keeping the hip over the knee. Shoulders over the hip. Exhale, windmill those hands to plank. Downward dog. Hop, step, jump to front. Hands overhead. Warrior lunge, right side. Once you step into that split stance, slowly lower down. Engage here, holding here. Couple of checkpoints. Wrist, shoulder. Hip, shoulder, tucking under. Nice line. Rotate to that sumo squat. Same thing here, holding here. See how she tucked under there. Make sure you're not heavy in that low back. Come down to that bear plank. Sprawl that press. Coming back up, nice and wide stance. Lifting the chest, tucking under. Good. Rotating into that lunge. Back to prayer pose. We reset with a sun salutation before we go to the other side. Deep breath in. Exhale. Half lift. Release. Step out to plank. Good. Then we're gonna hop back, up, to front, overhead, left side. Good. The quick reset. Get that balance just up. There we go. Drop it down. Check those points. Checking in. Making sure we're not hyperextending. Bringing that knee in just a little bit there, Liz. Good. Pulling back. See that leg shaking? Oh yeah, now that core is fired. Good. Now rotate to that sumo. We come down, tuck that low back. Good. Placing those hands down. Tight bear plank. Sprawl that press. Stepping back together, lifting the chest. Tucking that tailbone. Coming up. Back to front. This side. I was on this side. And there we are. Awesome job. We made it.
Again.
Good work. Now let's go ahead and go down to the mat for some stretches. Low back and abs as we finish the class here today. Good job. We had some great body weight movements, standing positions. We had some great body weight yoga flow today. Just a little mix there. Now we're gonna end off here with some low abs and glute work. Make sure we take the pressure off of that low back. So we're gonna go glute bridges for 12. Driving the hips up and down. Firing the glutes. Exhale through the lift. And continue your 12. As you're driving, make sure that the knee and ankle are in alignment. Make sure you're squeezing through the heels, but the toes are down. Try not to allow the feet to come up. Shoulders are down away from the ears. Chest is proud. And as you come down to that floor every time, make sure you neutralize that spine with a flat back. On 12, let's go ahead and hold that position up in the air. Once again, as you're squeezing, driving the heels into the floor, squeezing the glutes, hamstrings, quads, we want to pull that belly button into the spine. We want to get a push and pull effect going on and get all that blood circulating, fire into that low back and hips. Then you can release and pull those knees into the chest, rock side to side. Good, then we'll take a single leg tuck, straighten the opposite leg, lengthening out that hip flexor, nice and wide. Bilateral leg stretch, switch sides. Trying to keep that extended leg just about an inch or two above the floor. Good. Then we're gonna come up and we're gonna go for a quick shin box stretch. So coming up into a shin box position on your mat, you can go as wide as needed. We're gonna come up and we're gonna rotate the waist first. We're gonna go 4. So bring it over the bent leg. We're gonna rotate and switch to the other side. 4 and back. 3, 2, and 1. all the way around. Then we're gonna go for lift. We're gonna go 4 lifts with a full extension. Lifting up, driving that hip, making sure, holding here, that her knee, hip, wrist, shoulder, shoulder, wrist are in all one line. She's not hyperextending her hip flexor, but she is lifting up through that quad, getting a nice stretch, coming back down. And you're gonna do that 4 times. So that was 1, 2, 3, and 4. Good, then we'll switch to the other side. And similar like with your glute bridge, make sure that as you're squeezing from the bottom, extending through, you want to pull that pelvis in and squeeze through that belly button. 4, 3, 2, 1. Awesome. Then we're going to come back down. Knees into the chest, side to side. We got 1 more stretch here. Now we're going to go single leg glute bridge. Making that nice kickstand square here, hands under the hips and butt, supporting that low back if needed. And we're gonna lift that up, making sure that the hips stay square. We don't wanna open up this way, so stay square. And we're gonna get 8 lifts each side. 1 more quick single leg glute fire. Yeah, there you go. And then switch, 8. I know I was keeping your count. Okay. All right, up. It's hard to count when you're trying to talk. I'm sure I do extras. But extra's always good. Is that 8? That's 8. All right, knees into the chest, side to side. Excellent. Let's go ahead and roll over to our side. Take a moment here. Before we come up to all 4s, we're going to work our way to standing. So we'll go quick cat and cow just to kind of circulate all that work back through the body. Get it going. Good. Quick mobility of the wrists here, front and back. Each side. Reverse the toes, down dog, driving those hips to the back of the room, pedaling the feet, right and left. Walking those hands towards the feet, placing your chest into your lap. We're gonna go spine roll from the bottom to the top. Resting, letting everything hang into your chest nice and slow. Stacking that vertebrae, keeping your chest and chin as close to your body as possible and getting to the top. Then we'll finish off with our decompression of all those joints. Taking the hands out to the side, we'll go next circle, 2 clockwise, 2 counterclockwise. Good, shoulder rolls, 2 in reverse, and 2 forward. Good. Side body reach. Switch sides. Good. Quick rotate. Final quick ring of that spine. Standing high knee. Quad stretch. With those ankles. And the knees. Friday, do the knees with me, Liz? Yeah, sure. Everybody out there, do the knees with me. There we go. We are good, and we have the worst knees in the gym, probably. So if we can do it, you can do it. Thank you so much. Come up with me, Liz. Thank you so much for joining us, Giselle and Liz, coaches here at MixFit SA. Make sure you check us out. We also got Cam. He's coming back with us next week, so maybe we can even get us all together. Hope you guys check us out, mixfitsa.com. Follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. See y'all later.